One man just wants to keep his grandfather's pet shop in business. The other, determined to let no drug slip past on his watch. All sales are final in these Tales from a Little Pet Shop of Horrors. Beside Count D's exquisite taste, he's essentially a Pokemon master. Think Red from Gen 1, but the horror story version. If he can't catch it for you, it's uncatchable. On his shoulder may as well be a flying type Pikachu. Then there's this guy, Detective Leon Bogard. Nothing gets by him when he's on the case. Not willing to let drugs run the streets of his city, he's always first in when it comes to stopping crime. Now for the first pet we come along, questions immediately rise. Clearly it looks like a little girl, but despite coincidental appearances, Count D ensures it's somehow a fucking bunny. I mean seriously, you'd think they would report the guy, but instead he hands them a contract to sign and off the couple goes on their merry way. There's nothing suspicious here to tell, ladies and gents. After watching the first 5 minutes of the show, if you haven't figured it out yet, you're basically waiting to see what happens once the owner breaks their contract. And without spoiling, things get pretty gnarly from the bunny once his contract is breached. Even if you want to argue Count D's ethical standards, he keeps that contract strapped on him at all times. Although it's always disturbing when he has to remind the then potential future owner that it's not someone they know but indeed a pet. But back to Leon, not Kennedy Bogard, he's still unconvinced that drugs aren't involved in any of this. However, I'm sure bribing of any kind is illegal, even for a man of his by-the-book standards. This is not a love story like the movie Splash, and I'm pretty sure Count D somehow managed to capture Medusa, who I would dare say isn't a pet at all, on any level for that matter. Regardless, to give an idea of just how badass of a Pokemon trainer Count D is, this one guy comes in asking for a pet. Count D says it's impossible, then suddenly it's like, I'll have it for you by tomorrow afternoon. No surprise though, it looks like a kid as well, who I would argue is a magic kid he labeled as a pet. Also, this scene makes more sense later on once things happen than the progression of everything before. Unfortunately, no drugs were seized during any of the story's progression, and I'm sure Count D's grandfather is proud of his continued upholding of everything at the shop during his absence. Despite the lack of illegal substance, LA is still no place for a penguin under any circumstances. I don't care if that is the police chief who purchased one, but I guess don't hate the supplier, hate the buyer.